So, um, first off, I want to say sorry for the the animation that I have that looks pretty psycho. Hold on one second. Let me check everything. Or okay, everything's good. So yeah, I'm just in a little bit of a rebrand aesthetically, and my little animation in the beginning kind of looks psycho. That is not me. I mean, that is me, but the animation got made to be a little psycho. But anyway, that's not the topic. So the topic I want to address today is the whole scandal that's rocking the NFL. Mike Vrabel and Diana Russini. I think that's how you say her name. It's just a scandal that won't go away, and I think they're trying to sweep it under the rug. But it's every time you think it's dying down, fire gets poured on the flame. So I'm a little under the weather right now, so excuse the voice. But let's blast off into the you know the my first take of this situation. I think that while you know this is an alleged scandal because it could be adultery, cheating, and all that stuff. While that is wrong, I still think it's the two people's business, and you know I think they're trying to deflect right now, which is making them look worse. Like they're trying to say it was harmless, but you know when you talk to the the resort or whatever in Sedona, they say that where they're at, where they're accessed, you can only get to it if you have a private room there. So they must have it together, or at least they're spending it together because obviously the pictures are in a place where they access by themselves. So, and uh Diana said that she was with like five or six friends, but it's really like a couple's resort. And if you're with five or six friends, you know, there's like maybe four or five pictures. Why wasn't there at least one friend in there, or just a bystander, like a weirdo, or like a waiter, or like a busboy, or like a bellhop or anything? So I think they're really trying to just deflect what they're actually doing. And while it's not right, the main issue is the fact that credibility. Diana Russini works for the Athletic, and it's just it just doesn't look right as far as professionally. And a lot of people are trying to clump this in, saying this is the New England Patriot way. You know, Robert Kraft with his massage parlor stuff, and Deflate Gate, and just the way Bill Belichick ran the franchise and stuff, like the whole Aaron Hernandez like throwing it under the bus when it shouldn't have been. So they're just kind of saying, this is the scandal stuff that people are used to in the Patriots organization. And I get that, but this is just kind of weird because this is like it's some big, if you want to call it, entanglement with, like, to me, with Mike Vrabel, Diana Russini, and AJ Brown, because that's like the scoop that everybody's like, how does she know this stuff? How does she know that he's like, you know, favoring possibly going to New England, because he has a former relationship with Mike Vrabel. You know, from Vrabel being the coach of the Titans, and obviously AJ Brown. That was his first team. So I don't know. It's just as far as like the decision that they made. They're both married, and it's just a decision that they make, and they have every right to do what they're doing, but they are both married, and it just kind of makes it a real sticky situation. And I think Vrabel's kind of you know keeping it hush hush, just basically maybe out of respect to his wife. I mean, respect, but you're cheating allegedly. But anyway, but Diana Russini, there is clips that came up that if she was my wife, I would have been filed for a divorce years ago. She's just talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna get a divorce here, and like, oh yeah, like, you know, my husband takes all this crap from me, and uh, I don't deserve him, and he doesn't deserve me. Just like weirdo stuff she's saying, and almost like she's crying for a divorce or something, but doesn't want to actually ask for it. Almost kind of sounds like Giannis asking for a trade. But anyway, um, I just think it's a real sticky situation, and the main point is that looks bad is the professionalism. As a column writer and a reporter, you know, your source can't be the head coach because things are going on. It's just like you beat out everybody, and it's like not like you're working at it. It's kind of like you're just throwing your body in there, using your body to your advantage, which leaves everybody else at a disadvantage. And it's just, it's weird. It's weird. So let's jump into, is this real or fugazi? And I mean, nothing's really been confirmed, but with all the sources, all the like the pictures, the evidence, and the sources of the information that's coming out, it just looks real, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. And I mean, to me, the thing that really made it look real is the fact that Diana Russini, like, she was getting backed up by the Athletic, which if you're her, that's like a real good thing. And then what, like days or a week later, they come out, they suspend her until the investigation's over. And then comes yesterday, she resigns. So it's like, why are you going to give up your job? Granted, I think at the end of the year, her contract was up, they were saying. But why do you, if you have not done anything wrong, why do you give that up? I just think that's kind of weird. But to me, she's the one that makes this look like there's credibility to it. So as far as when it comes to being real or fugazi, I gotta go with it's real on this one. And as far as, do we push the panic button? I think, I don't even think Diana Russini is pushing the panic button. I think she's just trying to save face. But I think Vrabel a little bit like has to be like, crap, dude. Like, this is making stuff hot, and he's probably not gonna worry. Like, but it's just like, it just kind of makes things like, now you kind of got to look over your shoulder a little bit. I mean, at least that's what I think. Like, I think, like, just say that he didn't lead the Patriots to the Super Bowl last year. Would he be an instant as soon as this controversy like got made public? Would he have just been fired? Granted, he's been a long term player for the franchise, but you're trying to rebuild the reputation of New England, the Patriots, and get back to the Super Bowl winning ways. And you don't have a Tom Brady, so you don't want these distractions. So I think a little bit right now. I think at least in this situation, Mike Vrabel might want to, or is possibly hit the panic button. And just in this, uh, just kind of the whole situation. This is my authentic take of the video. Is that I just I don't know. I just I think it's a whole mess. And while I would say cheating is not right, but it is their choice and it shouldn't affect their job. I mean, it's already going to affect their life because you don't even know what Mike Vrabel's wife is thinking. I'm sure you can assume that Diana Russini's husband is probably going to ask for a divorce. Like, I mean, I would think, but who knows? And like I was saying in the beginning, I just think that the whole main ingredient that makes this look bad is that you guys are trying to cover this up, obviously. And as far as professionalism, it doesn't look good. It's like getting the advantage when you shouldn't have had it. Excuse me. It's like getting the advantage when you shouldn't have had it. And I just think that's weird. And it's just like you're doing devious things, trying to stay out of the the eye of the public. And who the hell was the person getting those pictures? Like they didn't notice like a camera lens over there, Like I'm not saying it was like huge or anything, but I just like for the fact that it's a private resort, adults only. Like you didn't see anybody like taking pictures. I get it that like you're like kind of like zoning it out when you're a professional athlete or you're a head coach of an NFL team, but aren't you kind of feeling like someone over your shoulder, like taking a picture or something? Like, it is weird. But one thing too that like maybe they were just being cautious. I didn't see no intimacy. Yes, they were holding hands, like like dancing and like holding each other and stuff. But there was no kissing, and stuff like that. So maybe they could save face a little bit and just completely deny it. But I don't know. And just my last take is just that I feel like this was just not good for the league, not good for the franchise, and not good for the reputation of league reporters trying to get the scoop because now their sources are always going to be questioned and like there's no trust going on. And now you gotta like kind of always second guess the nature of relationships, especially when it comes to a man and a woman in a professional circumstance. So it's just a weird and bad look overall. And I don't know how it gets rectified. And I really don't know where it goes from here, if there's gonna be any kind of like repercussions. So but tell me what you think. Drop a comment. Let me know your opinion. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This has been The Authentic Take.